Enlightenment and study hard. Why East philosophy emphasized on enlightenment, while Western philosophy emphasized on study hard? Um, because their fundamental approach to philosophy is different. Western philosophy more or less is approach of bottom to, to top approach. Socrates' definition, Plato's definition. You have to define what's your thoughts. How do you reach to the definition? How your definition apply um, to in general? So you go, if you want to solve a problem, you start from definition and you arrive to conclusion. You need to put down your hypothesis. Well, Eastern philosophy more or less trying to reach to how you trying to solve the problem and how and why is the best way to describe what was your perception of the reality, and how to be more close to uh, the true nature of the reality. It's a different approach. The difference may be settled when it comes to complex situation, but the fundamental difference is different. Is there. So Eastern philosopher more or less ask students to read, to think freely, so that they can come to a conclusion, can come to our enlightenment one day, that he would know, oh, this is how that person's view on the nature, on the reality. This approach is more or less relies on person's intellectual. Sometimes would be able to, some person would fake them. There's numerous examples in Chinese history that some person would actually, he did not get what the idea is, and he faked that idea, but still he would move along because at least he had some understanding of reality. Maybe his vision is, his version of the reality is better, more practical than the person who's teaching him. Somehow, what this is a good example would be Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi. See, Lao Tzu is more or less saying, you cannot describe what the Tao is. Zhuangzi says that, so, well, by very definition, I can make my own Tao. I just not sure whether I want to be that butterfly or I want to be me in my Tao. So to East philosopher and power structure, that application of the philosophy, more or less is more approach to when lay down a foundation is more important. What foundation we want to build upon? And then we can talk about how we deal with individual cases. So East, especially today's Eastern China's situation is more or less pragmatism, as in United States, deal with things as it is. It would be good if you're in power. It would be good, but pragmatism pragmatism is not a best way to approach a complex, unknown situation. Uh, um, Maybe practical, but hardly you would be able to make that leap of faith to a new discovery. Um, it could work if you have enough material. This also depends on how much money you have. Um, okay, so what is the difference between the enlightenment and study hard? Why Western philosophy is more effective to move things along? That is to say, you have to be able to um, it take long time. Western philosophy approach of the nature take long time to be able to produce enough evidence that this is a effective way, because that's when you approach individual problems, it takes long time to become a system. This is how Western world experienced through history, that how from one problem to another problem to another problem, then by the 1400 to 1600, the Enlightenment, the uh, humanism, the Renaissance start putting things together, and Isaac Newton be able to write the philosophy of nature. Um, that take long time to become a system, to be convincing. However, East philosophy um, is easy for people to live an easy life, to live a life. Because once you have top layer settled down, and you give freedom to people who live in this philosophy, and it's their freedom to think free under this philosophy, to think freely. And however, East philosophy easy to be manipulated and to be controlled, because during this enlightenment, it takes a lot of resource for a person to be able to understand what it is, the reality philosophically, and during that process, a lot of happening in life that you have to deal with. So I would say that this is the difference between enlightenment and study hard.